I'm saying I don't wanna come down from your love. We'll get lost together like we fly. Don't ever let me come down from your love. From your love. From your love.
Hey guys, it's Bree here. I'm back with another video, and today we're going to talk about LESSERAFIM's debut, Fearless. Now, as we know, LESSERAFIM is HYBE's new girl group, the first girl group they've debuted since Glam, and their only current girl group. So, as you can imagine, and I'm sure as you guys have seen, this release has been pretty highly anticipated. So in this video, I'll tell you what I think about the title track, and then I'll give you my thoughts on the entire mini album and debut as a whole. But before we get into this video, I do want to remind you guys that I have a Discord server. It's a lot of fun. It's a great place for you to talk to other K-pop fans, my subscribers, and myself. We have a lot of fun events like listening parties. Our server is pretty active, so I definitely recommend to join if you want a fun, safe K-pop community where you can engage with other fans. The link will be in the pinned comment if you want to join, and now let's get right into it. So first, I want to talk about the visuals of the music video. So during the rollout for their debut, during like the promotion period where we got all the concept photos and teasers and everything, I think it was very clear the look and image that HYBE was going for when it comes to LESSERAFIM. To me, I kind of got this smooth, chic, classy vibe from them, almost like high fashion models. At least to me, that's how the girls were presented, and I felt like it really worked. It was different than any other concept photos I've seen specifically for a group debuting. It was just giving very like model-esque, very high fashion, so I was really looking forward to see what the music video would look like. And to me, the music video pretty much followed that concept. There were a lot of minimalistic colors, like a lot of contrast between black and white. I felt like the outfits fit into that high fashion feel as well, specifically the scene where the girls are wearing those dresses with the combat boots. I just thought that the music video was very satisfying to watch. It wasn't anything crazy or over the top like a lot of K-pop debut music videos are. To me, it was more simplistic and focused more on shots of the girls and choreo versus like a bunch of effects and everything, which we expect from K-pop debuts. But for me, it still kind of worked well, and I did enjoy the music video. As far as the song, once again, it was very minimalistic when we talk about the instrumental, but somehow it really worked. I enjoyed it. I really liked the staccato, like truncated feel of the chorus. It almost reminded me like of a heartbeat or a model walking down a runway. It just worked for me, and I really liked it. I found the chorus to be extremely catchy. I also loved the groove that the entire song had, specifically the bass guitar really gave the song that groovy feel, and the guitar during the hook added a layer of mysteriousness to the song, in my opinion. I also enjoyed the vocals, and I really liked Kazuha's tone. I thought her rap voice was nice. It's a little deeper than a lot of other female idols. A lot of them rap in like a higher pitched voice, so I don't know, I felt her rap tone to be very satisfying. I guess my only complaint about this song is it did feel a bit static, even though I really enjoyed it and I felt like it was really catchy, and despite the fact that it was minimalistic, I still enjoyed it. I really wanted some type of switch up during the bridge, and I don't know, maybe that's the SM stan in me, because if you guys know SM songs, it's like they put crack in the bridges of their songs. It's always larger than life. There's usually some type of switch up or something ethereal that happens when we get to the bridge, and I guess I really wanted that just for some extra flavor, just because the rest of the song kind of felt the same. But you know, I wasn't that mad. I got what they were going for, and I still did enjoy the song overall. Even though I kind of knew what to expect concept-wise from the concept photos when it comes to the Fearless music video, it kind of made me think, wow, so the cute debut concept days are gone for 4th gen girl groups. Not completely gone, but when I think of LESSERAFIM and then I think of IVE, who also debuted this year, both of them came out with more classy, chic, mature concepts as rookie girl groups debuting, and I wonder if this is going to be a trend where in the past it was almost a given that if you were a girl group that debuted, you would start off with a cute concept. I also want to mention something about the choreo. Now, I thought the choreo was really great, but there was one part towards the end of the song where the girls do this floor work choreo and they're kind of like grinding on the ground. To me, that was a little off-putting just because I know that a few of the girls in the group are minors. I just feel like they could have done anything else besides that. It wasn't really necessary. And I actually asked you guys what you thought about the debut on my community post, and a lot of you guys echoed the same feelings as I did. I think it's cool if you want to have them do floor work, but because they're minors, I think that they should have been a little bit more conscious of the type of choreography or dance moves they're doing. But to be honest with you, sadly, I think this is just Hybe's way of pushing the envelope and just drawing buzz and maybe even controversy. I definitely don't agree with it, but I feel like that's what they're doing. They're kind of trying to see how far they can push the envelope, if you know what I mean. I do think that all of the girls got ample screen time, but overall, the members that stuck out the most to me personally were Chaewon, first of all, and then I would definitely say Sakura and also Yoonjin. Those were the members that really stuck out to me and left an impression, in my opinion. I also watched their showcase for their debut, and I just want to say, as to be expected with Hybe groups, I thought that their stage presence was amazing. They all were really good dancers, looked great on stage, had good facial expressions. I think that they just looked really good performing.
So fancy, fancy. 3 a.m. coming and going.
Now, as far as my overall thoughts for the Fearless title track, I did like the song. I think it's really catchy, and I do think that Hybe was kind of trying to play it safe with this song. A lot of times when we think of debuts for K-pop groups, we think of debuts that are a little bit less safe and more experimental because they want the song to kind of have longevity and make an impression and keep people talking for a long time. But I do think that Hybe took a safer route and did a song that was a little bit more minimalistic, but at the same time, even though I do think that they did take a safer bet with this song, I do think that the minimalistic concept fits the overall image and concept for LESSERAFIM, which to me is this classy, chic, smooth, model-esque girl group where they have music that almost sounds like you could be walking down a runway. So I do see why they went in that direction, and I do think it works with the girl group and their concept and their image. But like I mentioned before, I do think that for a lot of people, this song might be a little bit too stagnant, and I think that if they just would have added a little something extra into the bridge and maybe the final chorus of the song, that it would have been more impactful for me. I do think the song is good, I do like it, but I can easily see it becoming forgettable after having it on rotation for a few weeks, if you guys know what I mean. I also want to compare it to other Hybe debuts. I do think that overall this was a strong debut for LESSERAFIM, but when I think of the other debut songs that Hybe groups have had, it's not really anything crazy. It's not really anything groundbreaking. When I think of like top tier Hybe debut, right away I think of ENHYPEN, Give and Taken. I don't know. That is like one of my favorite debuts of all time. As far as Hybe groups, I don't think anything can top that. So even though I do think that Fearless is a strong debut, it's not Give and Taken, if you know what I mean. I feel like for Give and Taken, Hybe really took a little bit more of a risk than this song, and I think for me that's a song that has way more longevity and just is impactful and that will have people talking for a while. Even when you think of NMIX's debut, OO. Some people liked OO, a lot of people hated it, but it still got people talking. People are still talking about it to this day. So even though it was a very polarizing song, because it was so experimental, I feel like it's a debut that everyone will remember, and I don't know if I can say the same about Fearless. But overall, I did like the song. I would say I would give it a 7 out of 10. I would have gave it a higher rating if there was a little bit more going on, like I said, in the bridge, or even a little bit more going on with the vocals throughout the song, maybe a change of melody. I just felt like it was a great song. It was different because it was so minimalistic. I just wanted a little something more.
So fancy, fancy. 3 a.m. coming and going.
Now, as far as the entire mini album, I thought that it was a really strong debut album. The World Is My Oyster is kind of like the introduction to the album. To me, it sounds like a fashion show intro song, like the music you would hear as a fashion show is starting and the models are walking down the runway. It added a certain ambience to the mini album that kind of set the tone for me, and I also liked how it featured all of the girls speaking in Korean, English, and Japanese. So next was Blue Flame, and to me, that was like Fearless's retro but less minimalistic sister. It had the same groovy feel, and it was very disco, and overall I liked the song. It gave me the retro vibe that I love. I think you could easily stick it in a playlist with TXT's Blue Hour, and then Hypen's Go Big or Go Home, and I love how this song was directly after Fearless in the track list. And then after that, we had The Great Mermaid. To me, this was giving hyperpop. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm loving the trend of hyperpop we've been seeing recently in K-pop. This song has a larger than life sound. It's so big, it's so over the top, there's so many layers. And the girl saying, "I don't give a shit," definitely took me aback. But then when I remembered one of the lines that they said in Fearless, I was like, okay, I guess I shouldn't be that surprised. And then the album ends with Sour Grapes, which is a slow tempo hip hop trap song that's very mellow and calming. And I think that it was a great song to kind of close out the album. So like I said, I would give the Fearless title track a 7 out of 10, but because I enjoyed the B-sides so much, to be honest, I think I would give the album like a 7.5 out of 10. I think it was a strong debut album. It was really good. I want to talk again about the longevity of the Fearless title track. Although I like it and I do feel like it kind of fits in with the girls' model-esque concept, I wonder how people would have received them if they would have done something a little different for their debut song, because from what I'm seeing, a lot of people are kind of giving them mixed reviews. Some people love the song, they like the minimalistic feel of Fearless, they love how groovy and stripped down and bare the song sounds, while other people are basically saying that it sounds boring. So I don't know why, but my mind went to Mask by Kepler. Mask by Kepler is a song that I definitely associate with like fashion or even voguing. So I wonder what it would have been like if LeSSERAFIM would have done a song like that was a little bit more experimental, had a little bit more going on in the melody as far as the vocals and the instrumental of the song, and it still would give the girls that classy, chic, smooth, model-esque vibe. I just wonder if people would have received the debut a little better, and I wonder if maybe LeSSERAFIM will go in that direction in the future. It's just something that randomly popped up into my head and I wanted to share. So I want to ask you guys, what would you think if LeSSERAFIM did a concept like that, similar to Kepler's song Mask? Next, I'm going to read a few comments from my community post. I basically just asked you guys what you thought of the debut, whether it met your expectations or not. The title track was underwhelming for me, as the anti-drop did not carry instrumental-wise and the repeated chorus lines did not pique my interest, but the B-sides are amazing. The Great Mermaid and Sour Grapes are my favorite from the mini. I appreciate that they didn't just release a single, and I am excited to see more from them. The song is kind of underwhelming considering the anticipation I had, but the vocals, visuals, and stage presence were amazing. It's a good song to me. I'll rate it 8 out of 10. It's not loud, experimental, or over the top. It's simple and cool. It's something I can hear in clothing stores, fashion shows, and exhibitions. They took a big risk going with something really safe, and I feel that maybe Rookie of the Year isn't their goal. They're trying to build a solid fan base not based on trends but style. Also, I strongly believe that they're targeting a male audience. And I think you're onto something about them taking a risk by playing it safe, and also about targeting a male audience, because I can definitely see that there's a big focus on their image and their visuals. That's something interesting that you noticed. I think Hype went for a safe debut song, knowing the fact that 4th gen tend to be experimental. So that's what you guys had to say. I think that you guys had a lot of great points. Thank you so much for sharing. And for those of you that are watching, if you didn't have a chance to comment your thoughts about LeSSERAFIM's debut Fearless on my community tab, make sure to leave your comments about the debut in the comment section of this video. Did you like the song? Did Fearless not meet your expectations? Did it meet your expectations? Did it exceed your expectations? Do you think it lived up to all of the hype and buzz that Hype created for this release? Let me know how you feel in the comments, and thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.